Okay, let's see what we have here. 2020, that was last year. This is last year's opal. I don't want that. Give me some fresh opal. This is fresh enough, I guess. Let's look at it. Got this blue bar here. Got this bright green bar that might just be a little too bright. And we have some multicolor here with some red. It sort of fades into potch there. A thick layer of sand. I know where this is from, but you don't. And I'm not going to play this game again. Well, I will play it again. I'll mention at the end of the video where this comes from, and you can compare notes. You can see if you guessed it right. Got a little bit of dark base pattern there. A little potchy over on this side. So the back side, as opposed to the front side, is not as colorful. There's a lesson in this, and that's why Riley sent it to me. The lesson is that when you're buying rough opal, look at the good area, which is this side. Turn it around the other way and look at that. And if it's not the same, or if it's not as good, which it isn't, then you have to go to the sides. You turn this corner, it disappears immediately. You turn this corner, it rapidly is thinned out and disappears before it gets to the edge. So we're not going to get this color up here. Not very much anyway. We turned this corner and saw that it sort of peters out, and on this side it thinned out rapidly as well. So the corner turn does not bode well. If we're really lucky, I'd say we might be looking at that. Don't draw on your opals. So let's go to the machine and check this out, because this is an important thing. If your opal doesn't turn the corners, you shouldn't pay nearly as much as you would for the bright color bar area. There is one more thing to consider. Now, there's always a chance that somewhere up here this comes back. That's a possibility, and I hope that I'm wrong about my assessment of this stone. Okay, over here at the grinding machine. So let's get started. I don't see anything here. There is this. This is on underneath there. So although it thins out there, this is a little thicker. That's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go grind these sides. I don't think I have to grind the back yet. I'm going to grind this side in particular and see if we can pick up that color bar in this stone. This is looking pretty good. Remember that turning the corner thing I was talking about earlier? Well, take a look at this. So what is the number one problem with Ethiopian opal? And no, it's not cracking. Yes, existing cracks appear during cutting, but once you've cut and polished it, Ethiopian opal may never crack again. This is the truth. But whether you're a professional cutter or a neophyte, notice I use the big words. It makes me feel important. What we all hate about Ethiopian opal, once we've cut and polished the opal, we have to wait for days to see the results because the things turn white. After you get finished cutting, the opal turns completely clear, transparent, and within a couple of hours, it's white. And I've been quoted as saying that this white phase lasts between 2 and 6 days. It lasts 2 to 6 days. We can't wait 2 to 6 days, can we? I mean, you're in a boat fishing and you get a big bite and the fish pulls really hard. It strips out lines. Zzz, zzz. It's a big one. So you go to pull it out of the water and you can't see it for 2 to 6 days. How satisfying would that be? I mean, we'd all be at McDonald's protesting their fish sandwiches, right? Seems like I've been mentioning McDonald's a lot lately. I mean, the other day, I went to McDonald's and ordered a chicken sandwich. They came out and said they didn't have any, but they did have a fresh batch of McBeaks. I passed. One of my subscribers asked me, Colonel, Can you come up with a way to make my Ethiopian opals dry out more quickly? So I called upon the Pulitzer Opal Investigative Opalology Task Force, led by Sheila. I asked them to tackle this problem and get me results ASAP. Well, that was 5 years ago, but I'm happy to report that I have a solution, and here it is. This is Ethiopian willow opal. It soon gets very clear. The water gets into it, and after that they turn white as the water starts to dry, but it stays white for a long time, and that's the problem. Okay, these stones have been drying for about 2 days now, and they're still mostly white. They've got a long way to go before they're back to their normal color. This process normally takes 2 to 6 days in my experience. So I thought to myself, there must be a better way to dry these things out. And I believe that the answer is silica gel. Silica gel is a desiccant. That means it dries stuff out. It absorbs water, takes it right out of the atmosphere. I've got to be very careful with this stuff. These little suckers bounce. We have a few escapees. So there we go. Okay, this is some sort of pan, cooking pan. I've got it because it's glass and you can see through it. We're going to put the wet opals under this with the silica gel. It's in a relatively airtight space. The silica gel should absorb all the water, and it should be a quicker turnaround than 2 to 6 days. My time-lapse camera only records for 12 hours. When I woke up 16 hours from the time I started this drying out session, the stones were completely back to normal. 16 hours is a lot better than 2 to 6 days. Well, I guess I was wrong about this one with the turning the corner business. This is 31.15 carats. I like the shape. I like the color. I mean, what's not to like? I'm very surprised, but you should never be surprised by anything that rough opal throws at you. Just goes to show. Well, I don't want to have to say this, but this is what happens when you assume. Well, this is surely not a perfect stone, but I chose to have small areas of blush and a larger cabochon rather than having 2 or more smaller, more uniformly colored small stones. And the winner of the rough Ethiopian opal is Jenny Marty. There's no giveaway for this video unless you want a bag of silica gel. And if you do, use silica gel in a comment. There will be a real giveaway next time. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. The content displays intellectual property of Santa Claus and may not be used, republished, or reprinted such content without his written consent. Results may vary.